is Gia and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another chapter or two in Nightlight. Yeah, basically if you haven't read the other parts, be sure you do so. There will be spoilers in this chapter, so have fun with that one. So yeah, if you want to catch up, you better do so. Otherwise, you'll miss out. And you don't want to miss out. So, yeah. This is chapter 8. And yeah, we're getting close. We are getting close to the end. Yes. Not too close, but still, we got like 3 other chapters. They were still pretty close. Chapter 8. Long lost uncle. Randy and I laid Copper and Nightlight through the forest. We talked about what my house was like and how my family was. Sounds like you have a nice family, he said. I'm happy for Charlotte and for all of you. Thanks, I smiled. This may be rude, but how old are you? I'm 52. Not that old. Dad's only in his late 40s. Oh, I had a brother. Randy. As far as I remember, he would be around that age if he were still alive, he shrugged casually. I'm sorry about your brother. Are you sure he's dead? I have no idea. I lost touch with my family when I was young. What was your brother's name? I asked him. Jacob, he sighed. He's always seemed to be better at things than I was, especially basketball. I get it, I responded. Siblings can be tough, but my sister Hannah is pretty cool. Can't wait to meet your family. We continued to walk until we got to the edge of the woods. Randy suddenly stopped. What's wrong? He asked. It's been so long since I've been interacted with other people, he answered. I'm afraid to make a mistake. How can you make a mistake when you're not even trying? She kind of lost the mark. Cleared the throat. That's something to think about. Now let's get out into the world. I smiled. You have a bright spirit, Randy. I like it. I put Nightlight down and motioned her to stay close. She nodded. We left the woods and walked down the hill with Randy and Copper at our heels. Randy put Copper down and told me he was going home. Oh, please, could you at least have dinner with us? Sure, he smiled. Just this once. Nightlight followed Copper into the house with a strange sensation. She didn't like leaving Ariana alone with Randy, but Copper said she could trust him to be a little more careful and protective. Anyway, she wanted to talk with Nightlight. They entered the living room, where the symbol was shining above the couch. Nightlight hopped up after Copper. Copper looked at Nightlight's nervousness as she pushed the star. Immediately, Golden's face appeared. Hello, Nightlight. Hey, Copper. Copper was startled by his acknowledgement of her presence. Hey, she looked at Nightlight as Golden spoke. How did you find Copper, Nightlight? Who revived her? Grudges or stains, for goodness, it's a watch off, replied Nightlight. Golden smiled. Copper, how old are you now? My age hasn't changed at all from all those years ago, when I changed into a shadow dog for some reason. Golden and Nightlight smiled. Copper looked at them in surprise as Golden spoke clearly. Family wishes you back. They forgive you for all the things you have done. They have? Copper asked, quite taken aback. I don't know what to say. Nightlight smiled. Say nothing, then. There's another line. Any news for over there? Golden blurted, changing the subject. Randy was rescued. Nightlight nodded. Still, she put in a friend to my mistress. She looks so much like her sister. She has another relative? Copper looked shocked. I heard another relative, too? I heard no more, Golden said. Anyways, you wouldn't have known at that time. Randy was only a boy 30 years ago. Go on, Nightlight. What's your thought? Nightlight smiled confidently. Randy is Ariana's uncle. Ariana's father is Jacob. Is Randy's younger brother. Both of the dogs were surprised. They were speechless. Nightlight only kept smiling as if she had solved a difficult riddle. Meanwhile, Randy had come into the house. He was just staring at the dogs with even more shock. So Charlotte has actually married my brother. Nightlight looked at him as square in the eye and nodded. 100%. Randy smiled. Let's see the surprised faces of my nieces and brother. What will you tell them? Asked Golden. Dinner will be a marvelous time. Agreed. Nightlight and Copper nodded approvingly. Golden, you need to get back to your watch. Oh, he said. See you girls again soon, then. Good luck, Copper said. Golden? Yes? Can I help you on your lookout duties? Sure, the more the better. Copper smiled. I'll be off then. She hopped off the couch and ran to the door that was still ajar. Nightlight was left with Randy, yet she was not anxious of what was to come. So, Uncle Randy. Nightlight smirked. Hey, that name rings well. I like it. You're so smart, Nightlight. How did you know who I was? Easy. Charlotte told Ariana's dad, your brother, about you so much before our crash. Your image never left me. When I compared you to Hannah, I pictured you. So, I knew who you were. You should be a detective. She should. My place here is good enough for me now. Suddenly, a voice broke into the silence. Randy? Is that really you? Randy turned around to see a long-lost Charlotte in a wheelchair. Chapter 9. Surprise at the dinner table. I might as well. I could probably finish it off next episode if I really wanted to. Randy looked at Charlotte, shocked. His memories of that moment at the creek just kept replaying back in his mind. Like an old room. Did I really do that to you, Charlotte? Randy's eyes teared up. No, this was my doing, she said. She had heard everything. How you really are my best friend and a brother-in-law. Yes, I am, he smiled, walking over to her. Over time, I never stopped regretting what I did. But of course, I still cared about you, continued Short. Your daughter is right. Thank you. No, Charlotte smiled. Thank you. Suddenly, she changed the subject. Where's Copper? She went to the dump to help a friend. I really miss her. I know, but we'll soon go together to see her. She's as old as she was the last time we saw her. Is she really? How can that be? It's a long story. After our disagreement at the creek, she kind of changed into a shadow dog, which is like a prison to a dog's soul. Remember those red berries? Copper and I ate a lot of them, and we had no idea they were the reason for our transformations. Mom decided to go to bed early because she was so tired. It was up to Dad to get the food at the table. Yeah, we just jumped. We just jumped. Sorry, we just jumped. My plate was steaming and full of warm steak. Dad and Randy were sitting next to each other. Hannah was chowing down on her steak when Randy cleared his throat. Who do you think I am? Silence greeted the table. Dad looked at him surprised. You're a guest in my house. You're Randy, our honored guest. Yeah, Hannah smiled. And one nice and respectful man. I love the steak. Thanks, Randy said. But it's best when you cook the steak over a mild fire. Why is that, she asked. It's a survival tip. You need to know how to cook it over fire. Let's see. Hannah nodded. So how long have you been there in the woods, I mean? I made a camp and stayed there when I could for over 30 years. Wait, how old are you? Dad looks 52. Randy confessed. How did you survive over 30 years in the woods? Dad exploded. Hannah exploded. Quite complicated and long. And stories can bring up an understanding to the family. Nightlight completed. Speak, my friend. Dad jumped to the sound of Nightlight's voice. I didn't know Nightlight could speak. Wow. Randy looked at a tiny bit embarrassed. Wow. He cleared his throat and started to explain how he ran away from home, from the parents who were ignoring him because he had a younger brother who was good at everything. He explained how he had made a camp in the woods so he could have a safe place to go when he felt insecure. He explained how he found Mom and how he became great friends with her. Then he explained how Mom had been forced to leave him because her parents wanted her to spend more time on schoolwork and after-school art classes. He talked about his frustration when he pushed her into the creek. When I realized Charlotte was in the condition she was in right now, I came to find Adriana and I wanted to make things right. Of course, that's altered. Dad looked pale. It's about the same story Charlotte told me decades ago when she came over to our house to apologize. She feared she was a little too harsh and told me everything. I do remember having a brother, but he was so absent that we barely knew he was part of the family. Randy put a hand on Jack's shoulder. I didn't understand it at the time, brother. And then I gasped. Dad only looked up silently and started to tear up. Did I really overshadow you? I think he meant to. So, let's just put it behind us. Would you like to stay at our house to make up for it? Said Dad. Thanks for the offer, replied Randy. But I do need to get all my stuff from my house in the woods. I knew what he meant. He was going to try to change the shadow dogs back. Oh. Dad replied, Can I help? I can manage on my own. It's not too much. Okay, Dad smiled. So what are you going to do with your home in the woods? I don't know. Maybe I'll become a veterinarian and turn it into my office. Sounds great, Hannah exclaimed. Sure does, I replied. Proud of my uncle. After Randy left, Dad watched as Hannah got up to get ready for bed. But I still sat and stared at my plate. Nightlight was under my chair as Dad finally got up to take care of the dishes. Ari, dear, he sighed. What's wrong? Well, things sure have changed. My mom can't walk, and my puppet's not Snow, but Nightlight. Okay. And I just found out I had an uncle. What's next? Dad sighed, sat next to me, and asked a simple question. What can I do to help? I really don't know. Would you like some advice from me? Mom would be better, but yeah. Dad only shook his head. Never let your experiences bring you down. Let them build like a ladder, so you can climb to success. I looked at him, surprised. That was the first time I heard something seriously meaningful come out of his mouth. Where'd you get that? It's all about life, Ariana. You always learn from life. Like I have. Like days you could have done better? Yes. I've had lots of those days, especially with my brother. Dad? I asked, getting up. This is the best day I have ever had so far in all my life. Glad to hear it. So, along with everything else, you have a talking dog. Yeah, it's supposed to be a family secret. Dad got up and took my dishes, and I yawned. I'm going to bed now. Dad's words lingered in my mind. It's all about life. Letting your experiences build like a ladder, so you can climb to success and not let them bring you down. You learn from life. I smiled as I walked up the stairs, my heart beating with a new meaning. Nightlight was close to my heels, as always. My pressure was gone. As I started to climb up on my experiences and see life in a new way. I couldn't let my failures let me down. I need to try to pass this test. I knew the era had only begun. My heart skipped a beat when I opened the door to see a note on my bed. I walked towards it and picked it up. I looked at my open window and gulped. Someone had been in my room. That's never a good sign. I quickly shut the window and put the note on the nightstand. I decided to read it a bit later. I smiled as I got ready for bed. Within 5 minutes, I was fast asleep, unaware of the figure lurking outside my window. Well, this is a 2-story window. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. I'm gonna continue, because why not? I'm just gonna finish it. Just why not? I just want to finish it. See if I can. Chapter 10, The Final Letter. I woke up several times during the night with a weird feeling that someone had been watching me. I finally stopped trying to fall asleep in the early morning and turned on my bedside lamp. I took the letter and slowly tried to pick at the opening. My heart jumped when I noticed the symbol printed on the folded sheet of paper. Nightlight had long ago woken up and had come in and out of the open door. She smiled when she saw me holding the bead of paper. She couldn't look at what it says or stare at my family crescent for an hour. I looked at her and smiled. Can I read it aloud? No, she shook her head. Everyone is still sleeping, and you don't want to wake them. I got up to close the door and she hopped under the bed. I laid back and slowly unfolded the letter, unaware of what was next. Watched Nightlight look as if she was uninterested in what the paper had to say. She looked at her like any other dog, but her eyes could not stay unfocused from me. In a moment, she gave up trying and started working. Ariana, well done with your work for a beginner. We really enjoyed hearing about how brilliant you were during all the adventures. You learned and experienced so much. We are quite impressed with you, and that doesn't happen often. You are a star, and you always have been. Surely there, you will always be a welcome friend of the light. We all adore you in very different ways. You will have one final test to determine if you are truly worthy. This will be tricky, but you can pass it. You'll be a true daughter of the lake crescent. We don't suggest you look for trouble. We will send our test when the spring break is over. We hear there is a new girl in your class, and we hope you become friends with her. Effort creates ability, and it's up to you to pass at your own risk. We will support you. Nightlight is sure to help you with anything. If you only ask, don't forget that. We wish you luck as you go through the rest of your week. Hope you pass in the best justified way. Really, I looked up from the page. Is it true that I have a final test? One more test on Ariana. It shouldn't be too hard for someone like you. Like your mother, you're always going to succeed one way or another. She looked at me, smiled. We know you can do it. What if I can't? What if I fail? What would happen to me then? Oh, you shouldn't have to worry. You will succeed. There are many ways of thinking, and yours is one of them. We accept that. Nightlight watched my expression carefully. But my thoughts didn't change. She sighed and tried to explain herself, but gave it. You'll understand, dear. Soon, dear. Don't upset it. I do understand, Nightlight. I explained. Sometimes in the middle of school, kids can be mean. Sometimes I feel like certain kids try to please adults and don't really care about other kids. Ah, she smiled. That makes your test even more exciting. How? She replied, frustrated. Learn to be kind to everyone. You can do it. You must have the true friends. I have 2 exclamation marks that you can do it. Yes, I have a friend named Nicole. Others who I thought were my friends seem like they have changed. Nightlight looked at the ball. You know that you are talented. You are thought others' feelings, just like your mother. Ariana, you can pass this test. Today is a new day. Your friend Nicole sees you as I see you. It's a true friend. It's who you can be as well. I not told me. Tomorrow's the assignment I need to pass. What if I don't? You will, Ariana. You've always made a difference to those around you. Don't fall back just because others make you feel unworthy. If you want to do something important, try it to be yourself. I nodded, a little more confident. My mind trailed off as slowly fell asleep once more. This time, ready for Monday, the Monday ahead. The last chapter, and it's called Maria. Maria! I quickly got ready for school next day. The first thing that came to mind as I walked out to the door was the mission I had to complete. Nightlight watched from the window as I walked around the corner and disappeared from her sight. My feet had a mind of their own, and I walked with my head down. Every once in a while, I would drag my feet on the concrete. By the time I got to school and opened the locker, I heard Cheryl's voice around the corner. Just because you are the new girl, doesn't mean you get the teacher's attention. I heard a voice squeak as I walked closer. I only wanted to know where my locker was, that's all. Sure, Cheryl let out a laugh as I turned the corner. My eyes widened as I saw her looming over a short brunette. She didn't look too happy. Please leave me alone, said the new girl. Don't talk back to me, you little... Cheryl, you better leave her alone, I interrupted. Why, you! She whirled around to face me. What right do you have to boss me around? I have every right, especially when you're doing something wrong. Cheryl rolled her eyes. What do you mean? Your father made a rule at the school to be helpful to new people like her. I nodded a short figure behind her. I should report you, Cheryl. You wouldn't, she stared at me. Unless you want to get hurt. No, I do what's right. Leave her alone, please. She hesitated and looked at me, and then at the new girl. Fine! She turned and stomped away angrily. New girl wearing baggy jeans held up a belt and his t-shirt. Held up with a belt and a t-shirt. Watched me cautiously. Why did you do that? Do what? I asked. You stood up for me. Why? That's what I do best. That's all. But you were actually nice with that bully. She was just jealous. She threatened you! So, that doesn't mean I shouldn't stand up to her. You weren't scared? I was a little, I admitted. But you get over it with time. Thank you. She smiled. By the way, my name is Maria. Hi, Maria. Welcome to our school. My name is Ariana. We added to our homeroom. I felt happy. Not only because I had passed the final test, but because I had been able to welcome Maria successfully. I guess that's what I've learned the most through all of this. Do the right thing, and you'll have no regrets. The past month, I had learned a lot about my family history, and I never knew that I never knew before, as well as my dogs. I could never have imagined tangled up in it all. Being so tangled up in it all. Soon dawned on me how much I had changed. I wasn't an ordinary average girl who got teased from winning a prize. No longer a girl with normal life. I couldn't have imagined that my life could turn upside down from event that occurred before I was born. I knew who I was. No, I would never be the same person ever again. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. I have a picture of me with short hair. Yeah, I donated it the year before when I got that picture. Because it was also after when I had my open heart surgery. So. Yeah, that's a fun fact. I wrote the book during open heart surgery. After surgery. Like, I had recovery time, but I did it. I didn't do it during surgery. That would be weird. I did it after the surgery. But I still did it. It's crazy. But I'm kind of glad. Because it is a good story. And I could do more in the future if people want to do that. It's my own original story. A story that has nothing to do with YouTubers. Has nothing to do with any of that stuff. It was inspired by other books. Like certain lines and stuff. But it's definitely an interesting story to read. If you do want to read it on your own and see the pictures, you can. But they're not illustrated much. Just pictures you find online. Not how I originally imagined it, but Searchlight is a little bit different. I did it a little differently. Just wrote it. And yeah, I'll see how well this does. And if it does well enough, I'll do the sequel. If it doesn't, then I won't worry about it. Because, yeah, it's all up to you guys. If you want to see it, you guys gotta make the effort to see it. End of story, end of discussion, end of video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.